Whether you're looking for maybe a little extra padding in your bank account or a fresh passion project or simply a smarter way to make your existing skills work harder for you, well, the thought of earning more money is probably on your mind. In today's world, finding those additional income streams isn't just a luxury anymore. I mean, for many people, it's actually becoming a necessity. Okay, so let's unpack this a bit. Today, we're taking a deep dive into an incredibly timely and practical resource. NerdWallet's article, 26 Ways to Make Money Online, Offline, and at Home in 2025. And it really hits home because a recent NerdWallet survey found that, get this, 10% of Americans started a side business or a second job in 2025. Why? Because their primary job just didn't financially cover their necessities.
Yeah, that's a huge number.
It really is, and it just underscores the urgency and, the relevance of this topic right now.
It truly does. And what's fascinating here, I think, is how this isn't solely about necessity anymore, though that's a big part of it. It's also about people leveraging existing passions, maybe developing new skills, discovering entirely new opportunities. There's definitely a real shift happening in how people approach work and income. So our mission today is to really extract the most important nuggets of knowledge from these ideas. We're focusing on the ones that offer real strategic depth, giving you a clear roadmap and hopefully the insights you need to navigate these possibilities with some confidence.
Absolutely. Instead of just, listing everything out, we've really focused on what stands out, what has genuine potential, and how you can truly leverage these ideas for yourself. You're going to walk away with practical insights, maybe some surprising facts, and definitely clear, actionable takeaways. We want to respect your time while giving you really thorough information. We've got some fascinating ground to cover, so let's just jump right in. Okay, let's kick things off with the online world. That often feels like the most accessible entry point for a lot of people, right? Whether you're like a digital native or just looking to dip your toes in. And this is where it gets really interesting because the internet has truly democratized income for so many people, opening doors that just didn't exist even, say, a decade ago. First up, let's talk about leveraging your expertise through freelance work, especially thinking about AI integration now. We all know about platforms like Upwork, Fiverr, Freelancer.com for things like writing, programming, design. But the article points to some very specific high growth areas. What are you seeing as sort of the cutting edge for freelancers right now?
That's a great question, actually, because the landscape is changing so fast.
No.
While those traditional freelance roles, they still persist, the truly high-demand areas are where you either have a really specialized skill or, increasingly, where you're fluent in AI tools. For instance, computer security jobs. They saw a huge 27.1% growth on Freelancer.com just in Q2 of 2024.
Wow.
Yeah. And even with the rise of generative AI, there's a really strong demand for human writers who can skillfully edit AI content, who understand SEO, search engine optimization, and who can refine prompts to get the best possible output. So this kind of raises an important question for you listening. Are you leveraging an existing skill in a new, maybe AI-adapted way? Or are you seeing an opportunity here to acquire a valuable new skill, like AI content editing, that's clearly in demand?
That's such a fascinating pivot. It's not about AI replacing you, but about becoming skilled at using the AI effectively. There was this example, Soraya Yvette, a content marketing strategist, mentioned in the article. She actually started part-time freelancing on Fiverr and was getting job requests within weeks.
Yeah, pretty quickly.
Yeah, making consistent monthly income. So the setup is quick, usually like 24 to 48 hours for a profile. Age-wise, typically 16 to 18 or older. And for some of those high-end writing services, freelancers are actually charging $100 an hour or even more. That really shows the potential there.
Definitely.
Okay, now, building on that digital expertise theme, what if you have more of a creative flair and maybe a product vision? Our next area is creating and selling niche digital or handcrafted products. Think platforms like Etsy, Gumroad, or even self-publishing an ebook. We hear about these platforms all the time, but how do you actually stand out? It feels like such a crowded marketplace sometimes.
It's true. It definitely is saturated. So a key takeaway here isn't just about being creative. It's more about what I'd call niche stacking. So instead of just selling jewelry, for example, the top Etsy sellers might focus on something super specific, like sustainable, minimalist, ocean-themed silver jewelry for eco-conscious millennials.
Okay, really specific.
Exactly. The more specific you get, the easier it becomes to find your tribe, your audience, and stand out amongst the millions of other sellers. And for digital products on Gumroad, things like online courses, ebooks, those printable weekly planners, the same principle applies. There was that example in the article of a 280-page nutrition PDF cookbook priced at $39. It had 47 positive ratings. That really shows how targeted content can find its audience and thrive.
That's brilliant advice, really drilling down to find that specific audience. And the beauty of digital products, of course, is that passive income potential once the initial creation is done.
Right, but it does need that strong marketing strategy behind it to reach the right people.
True. Setting up a storefront on Etsy or Gumroad, it can be involved when you're creating the product, but the payouts are pretty flexible, daily, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, depending. And with self-publishing through Amazon's Kindle Direct Publishing or KDP, it's actually free to publish, and you can earn up to 70% royalties.
Which is pretty good.
Yeah, the hard part is, well, writing the book itself. But the actual KDP setup is quick. Okay, let's transition a bit from creating products to monetizing your existing digital presence. Maybe that's a blog, a YouTube channel, Instagram, or even Twitch. We all consume so much content, but what's a real strategy behind turning those views, that audience, into actual income?
Yeah, this really gets into the heart of the creator economy. For blogs and YouTube, advertising revenue through programs like Google AdSense or the YouTube Partner Program that usually requires 1,000 subscribers, that's kind of the starting point. But the deeper strategy, the one for more sustained income, often lies in diversifying your revenue streams. So think beyond just ads. Think direct brand sponsorships, maybe selling merchandise, or even affiliate marketing.
Ah, right. Affiliate marketing. For bloggers who already have decent traffic, joining networks like CJ, ShareASale, or Amazon Associates is pretty common. But it's not just about slapping links everywhere, is it?
Exactly, no. The most successful content creators, they really understand it's less about the quantity of links and much more about the quality and authenticity of the recommendation. You might think of it as long-tail affiliate marketing, focusing on highly specific, maybe less competitive product reviews or comparisons that genuinely solve a reader's problem rather than just broadly promoting the latest, hottest gadget.
That makes sense.
And for Instagram influencers or Twitch streamers, it's the same core principle. Build a dedicated community first, then strategically partner with brands or leverage platform features like bits on Twitch for those virtual cheers.
At building that audience, that takes real-time months, sometimes years. Right?
No, absolutely. It's a long game.
Yeah.
But the payouts, they vary by partnership. Affiliate networks typically pay maybe the month after a campaign runs.
Okay, that's a crucial distinction. It's about genuine value, not just volume. Got it. Now, for something completely different, what if you're not really looking to build a massive digital empire, but you just want to make a bit of extra cash using your computer and, well, your opinions? That brings us to user experience testing or UX testing.
Yeah, this is actually a fantastic low-barrier entry point for many people. Sites like usertesting.com, they literally pay you for your thoughts on how well websites and apps work. You just share your feedback, maybe finding glitches, pointing out confusing navigation, suggesting improvements. It's pretty straightforward.
It sounds surprisingly simple. The setup is usually less than an hour, I think, though approval might take a few days, and you need to be 18 or older.
That's right.
Payouts are typically after about 14 days via PayPal, and you just need your device, internet access, and a microphone. It seems like a great way to earn a little extra by providing feedback that companies genuinely need.
It is. It's valuable feedback for them.
Okay, shifting gears slightly again, let's look at another creative outlet, selling specialized photography. What makes some photographers succeed on platforms like Fine Art America or SmugMug, while others maybe struggle to get traction?
This one really requires, I think, a blend of artistic skill and sort of entrepreneurial thinking. You hear from Redditors often sharing their experiences. Success isn't just about having high-quality photos, which is important, obviously. It's also about having business savvy around things like rights management, pricing your work correctly. Many actually suggest that forming direct relationships with buyers for specific projects, maybe a business needing specific shots, can often be more effective than just relying purely on stock photo sites, which can be, heavily commoditized.
Like a race to the bottom on price sometimes.
Exactly. So maybe consider offering specialized services like aerial photography using a drone for real estate listings rather than just generic landscape photos.
That's a great insight. Think beyond just selling photos. Think about providing solutions.
Okay, so setting up on these platforms takes a few hours if you've got your photos ready. Payouts vary quite a bit depending on the platform and what you're actually selling, like prints versus digital downloads.
Right, lots of variation there.
Okay, let's talk about some opportunities now that use assets you might already have, sometimes without even leaving your house. We're talking about hyperlocal asset monetization. This includes things like becoming a dog walker or a pet boarder, maybe listing a spare bedroom on Airbnb, or even renting out your car when you're not using it. What's the common thread here, and what should our listeners be most mindful of before jumping in?
Well, the common thread is pretty clear. Turning an underutilized asset, whether it's your time, your space, or your stuff, into income. For dog walking or boarding using apps like Wagon Rover, you're basically monetizing your love for animals and your available time. Some Redditors mention potential earnings of, say, $300 plus per month with regular clients.
Which isn't bad for a side gig. Not at all.
Yeah.
But success is highly dependent on your specific location and the local demand, obviously. With Airbnb or services like Turo or Getaround for car rentals, you're monetizing physical space or a vehicle. Now, the crucial advice across all of these really is due diligence. You absolutely must scrutinize your rental agreement if you're renting. Check any homeowners association rules. That's often a big one. HOAs can be strict.
Oh, yeah, definitely check the HOA rules.
And look into local zoning restrictions before you even think about getting started. Don't let the potential income blind you to the critical compliance checks.
That's incredibly important advice. Okay, so for dog walking, setup can take a few weeks for approval. Background checks usually need to be 18 plus steps. Payouts are quick, like 2 days to a week. For Airbnb, a listing can be live pretty fast, in hours sometimes. Need to be 18 plus quest. Payment usually comes about 24 hours after the guest checks in. And for car rentals, setup is maybe 30 minutes, but your car has to meet specific requirements, and there are age minimums, usually 21 plus for Turo. Getaround varies. Payouts are generally quick too.
Right. It's all about making what you already have work a bit harder for you.
Exactly. Okay, moving to a more active, hands-on category. Let's explore gig economy services like TaskRabbit or the driving and delivery services, Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, Instacart, all those. What makes these such a popular option for people seeking flexible income?
I think these platforms really excel at connecting people who have immediate needs with those who have immediate availability, like TaskRabbit, for instance. It connects you with people needing help with moving, cleaning, deliveries, maybe some handyman stuff, even virtual tasks sometimes. Redditors often describe it as a pretty flexible side hustle, maybe good for a couple $100 of extra income each month. But again, success really depends heavily on your location and the local demand for those tasks.
Right.
It shows you don't always need super specialized expertise, sometimes just a willingness to help out.
Yeah.
And for driving and delivery, obviously the main draw is the flexibility, setting your own hours.
I remember reading that nerdy perspective from Tommy Tyndall, one of the writers for the NerdWallet article. He shared his personal take. He actually found food and grocery deliveries like DoorDash and Instacart less stressful and quicker to get started with than driving for Uber.
Interesting. Why was that?
His reasons were concerns about gas costs, wear and tear on his car, and what he called the awkward silences with passengers.
Ah, okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, it really highlights how different the experiences can be, even within similar types of gig work. So for TaskRabbit, setup takes a few hours, then maybe a few days for approval, and there's that $25 registration fee. Need to be 18 plus, pass background check. For rideshare or deliveries, you need an eligible car, background checks, age minimums usually apply. But payouts are generally very fast across these services, often instant or within just a few days.
Yeah, the quick payout is a big appeal for many.
Definitely. Okay, finally, let's dive into something a bit more specialized. Putting your drone to work. This isn't just a hobby anymore, is it?
Absolutely not. This really shows how a recreational interest, if you combine it with proper certification and skill, can actually become a specialized high-value service. People are using drones now for aerial photos for real estate agents, doing property inspections, land mapping, even things like surveying.
So real business applications.
Exactly. But it's definitely not a casual venture. It requires legitimate certification and probably a decent investment in the drone itself. You have to pass an FAA aeronautical knowledge test. I think the fee is around $175 to get what's called a remote pilot certificate.
Oh.
And you need to be at least 16 years old.
Okay.
So it's a serious commitment for what is admittedly a niche market, but it's definitely a growing one.
Okay, good to know. It's an interesting high-tech option.
Yeah.
So, wow, we've explored some really incredible opportunities today, covering a lot of ground. But before we wrap things up, we have one crucial warning we need to share. Because, let's be honest, for every legitimate opportunity like the ones we've discussed, there are unfortunately others out there that are less than honest. Scams.
This is so critical. You need to be extremely wary of any opportunity that asks you for an upfront fee. That's a huge red flag.
Sure.
Or if it requires you to pay for certification, especially if it feels kind of vague. Or if they immediately ask for sensitive financial information like your social security number or credit card details right at the beginning. For example, mystery shopping. That's an area often targeted by scammers. While legitimate mystery shopping companies do exist, many scams operate in this space.
How do the scams typically work?
Often they'll ask you for a fee to register, or sometimes they'll send you a check, ask you to deposit it, wire some money back, and buy gift cards. The check bounces, and you're out the money. Big red flags there.
That's spot on. So our practical advice is always, always look for unfiltered reviews. Go to community forums like Reddit where people share their real, unvarnished experiences, good and bad. Also, check a company's profile on the Better Business Bureau, the BBB. Look for complaints, see their rating. Doing that little bit of homework up front can save you a ton of grief and protect your hard-earned money.
Absolutely. If we connect this back to the bigger picture, really, critical thinking and just a healthy dose of skepticism are your best tools when you're navigating these waters. The world of online and offline income opportunities is vast, and parts of it can be murky, so always question, always verify before you commit time or especially money.
Wow. Okay, what a deep dive that was. We've journeyed through such incredibly diverse ways to potentially make money, everything from leveraging new AI skills and creating those niche digital products to monetizing assets you already own and even putting a high-tech hobby like drones to work. It's truly incredible how many different skills and resources can actually be monetized in today's economy once you know where to look and, importantly, how to approach it strategically.
Yeah, the landscape is really broad.
We've tried to uncover not just what the opportunities are, but also give you some practical insights on how to actually succeed, and crucially, how to protect yourself from those potential pitfalls and scams. Our goal today was really to equip you with the knowledge to make confident financial decisions as you explore these options.
Being well-informed really does empower you.
It really does. So as you reflect on all the different options we've just unpacked, here's a final thought to consider. What's one skill you already possess right now that you think you could immediately leverage for a side gig? Or perhaps, what's one new skill you're now inspired to learn that could unlock a completely new income stream for you down the road? We encourage you to mull that over as you go about your day. Thanks so much for joining us for this deep dive.